before we even start.
Boom. Better late than never. That's what I always say. It's the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. Quite obviously, I am not Ironhead, and neither is he.
No.
But this is Keith Goon Conlon, former
Hello,
Penn State offensive lineman. I'm Chris Buchignani. This is former Penn State and NFL defensive tackle Brandon Noble. We're both of the Obligatory PSU pregame show and podcast. Find it wherever you get your podcasts. Filling in for the Ironhead this week while he is on vacation. You know it. We are coming to you live from State College's Quaker Steak and Lube, where they are about to start the 1999 all-you-can-eat wings special, which, by the way, is why I did not order prior to this.
Yeah.
You know, the whole intermittent fasting
KG
thing.
vet,
Noble.
right? Yeah. KG
absolutely,
vet move.
absolutely.
I like it.
Great place to come out and watch all the games, hang out. By the way, have I ever looked smaller on this show?
Absolutely not.
This camera is screaming right now.
Your mom's going to say, oh, my God, Chris came out the same size. Oh, my God. That's exactly what the size looks like. So I got something to say is, we're on Joe Paterno time here, buddy. You're between two lifers.
Yes.
You show 38 minutes late, by the way. Oh, it's him?
No.
Look, if we're being honest, it was Kevin Horn and Mike the Mailman.
Yes.
100%.
Mike the Mailman. Yes, exactly.
So anyway, we're starting the broadcast a little bit late today. Yeah?
You got Sunday punishment with JT.
Yep, that's going to be bad.
You're late for a meeting.
We're running gassers.
No, I was here.
I'm talking about we.
No, you're not. You're cleaning the weight room.
And then probably doing the Versa Climber.
And then doing Versa Climber. And then you have to clean your throw up.
What's the Versa Climber? What's that?
Pain.
It's a.
Mr. T called it pain.
It's this just like pole, and it's got handles and foot pedals on it, and you just get on it and you climb.
You ever see the Price Tag when the guy yodels and it has to go up the mountain? That's exactly what it feels like.
Only for hours. You're the little Swedish
you
guy.
You 1,000 feet and you go as hard as you can. And you're like, all right, you've gone 14 feet. You're like, yes. So that's your punishment, son.
Yeah, it's fun.
You know what? I'll take it.
I've done
because things are getting back to normal here in Happy Valley. That's why we were late, and we were actually able to get the whole cast together with the crew and do a normal live film shoot, something we haven't really been able to do in 14, 15 months.
Yeah.
So it was good stuff.
Yeah. Hey.
What are you guys into?
Well, you know what? Just wait. I'll send you the OnlyFans account, and you can find out.
Our OnlyFans account.
The only OnlyFans. I just got that. Yeah. So okay, we're getting the ball buster
early.
Yeah. So good. It's all right. Before this thing goes totally off the rails, it's your show. What do you got?
You watched Phillies game last night?
I did not watch the Phillies or the 76ers, thankfully.
To Dodger Stadium to play a baseball game?
Yeah.
That's about 3,000 miles.
Correct.
That was the umpire strike zone last night. I have no idea how Joe Girardi stayed in that game as long as he did. I fell asleep by the 6th or 7th inning, but I could not believe that some of the calls I was seeing at home plate. Could not believe it.
Okay, well, we're going to start there. Let me ask you this.
Tough watch. I mean, the Phillies hit 4 in a row. I thought they had a little momentum, a little mojo going out.
But, I mean, going out to L.A. to play the Dodgers, that's a different universe, man.
Yeah, they've always played well there.
Well, look, there's always another game. That's a great thing about the MLB season.
2 more.
So, look, since you're going to go there and start, let me just throw this out because you and I love to do the tangent game, and we'll let Noble chime in as well.
The what?
The tangent game. Tangent.
Wander off into a tangent.
With the ADD stuff?
Yes.
Oh, okay,
there we go.
I thought you were talking about some kind of algebra. What's the tangent equation, the quotation of this? And I was like, oh, God.
What do you think about we now have the technology to do a totally robotic strike zone.
Yep.
So you really don't need the umpire calling balls and strikes.
Yeah.
And I have kind of a strong opinion on this one way or the other, but I'm not going to tip my hand. I want to hear what you guys think first.
I mean, I still enjoy the human error. I'm not going to lie. There is human error when it comes to baseball and stuff like that.
Even it doesn't drive you nuts when you see the Fox track graphic on the screen.
It was on Comcast last night.
Yeah.
Ruben and they were going crazy in the booth, but it was like it drove you crazy because the Phillies weren't getting the calls, and then they was not calling those strikes against the Dodgers, and that's what makes you upset.
Sure.
If you kept it the same way, if both teams were getting screwed the same amount, the same strike zone, I'm okay with that. But it's just a human error. That is what it is. Joe West is going to be Joe West. Is what
Yeah.
the bottom line.
Noble, robots, or humans? Who you got?
I like humans. I do.
Balls and strikes.
Yeah.
Like Bang Bang plays at first base. I do like the replay.
Okay.
I think that if you would have to. I don't know. Now that you think about it, like I do think it's part of baseball. It's kind of like what we were talking about, on the podcast last night, right? Like the whole thing about that I love about college football, right, is the fact that every game matters or has up until this point, right? And the emotion of it, and there is something fun about that. Watching a game. Oh, nice catch! Nice catch.
Hi, everybody.
Watching a baseball game, and there's human error there, and the umpires are part of the game. I mean, they really are. That was a nice catch.
Thank you.
And you didn't spill that giant water right in front of you, which was maybe even more impressive.
I'm a pro. No,
you are
a man of many talents.
Yes, you are. Yeah.
Imagine if it was called water.
Yeah, then it would have spilled.
But you were saying?
Yeah, no, I think I like having the human error part of it. It gives you something to complain about the next day.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so I kind of set you guys up because I was thinking you might go robot. Only because I know a lot of people who are very pro-robot. They're like, look, it's right there on the screen. They have the technology.
Yeah.
Like, we've already added replay to football and baseball. Like, it's ruining the end of basketball games. Like,
yeah.
Why don't we just implement this technology? And I'm kind of with you guys. Like, part of the American pastime from day one until this day has been the variability of the human error and the different personalities and all of it of the umpire. And I think baseball, more than any other sport, you really feel the history of it, right?
Right.
Like, we care about those records. That's what pissed people off so much about the steroid stuff, because they felt like those were like sacred records that were being blemished by the guys who were on roids.
I don't think that baseball is as close as you get as for like 50 years ago.
Yes.
Football, hockey,
yeah, precisely.
They've literally lapped them 30
Yeah.
times.
Right.
Where baseball could still be, numbers still hold up 50 years later.
Like, there's zero chance that Red Grange would be a dominant running back in the NFL today, but Babe Ruth could still hit, right?
Good.
Yeah.
Yeah. You might not. I mean, you might not be the GOAT, but that guy would still be a monster today. And all of that, every record, every win and loss, all of it is dependent on the human error of having an umpire there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whereas football, it's just so the speed, the size, the athleticism, the technology, everything is just, it's beyond belief of what it was, 20 years, 30 years ago.
Right.
I mean, it's just taking off. And then basketball, I mean, if people could say that what they want about LeBron and Michael Jordan and this and that, LeBron couldn't play back then and this and that, but you know what? LeBron is 6'8", 280 pounds,
and moves like that.
I mean, I can't stand the guy personally, but dude, you got to give it up to him. I mean, the athleticism of the man is just absolutely off the charts.
So here's what I think. I think a superstar from any era of the NBA could play in the modern era and still be really good. Like,
I would love to see Jordan in this era with like you guys.
Right.
He took
exactly. Like, if you took any of those guys from the peak of the Jordan era, like late 80s into the 90s, they'd all still be good. Look, I believe if you pulled Bill Russell off the 1960s Celtics and put him in today's NBA, he'd be.
Does he put his back to the basket? I mean, no one does it anymore.
He would adapt his game.
Absolutely,
right?
He would destroy.
Yeah, and so he would still be good. But I think so. It works that if you go back in time and somehow you can pull a guy and put him in the modern game, he'd still be good. Yeah. But if you took the best players today, just because of nutrition and training differences and just the way these guys' bodies are so much different, if you put LeBron back in like the Bill Russell era, he'd be a destructive force of nature. I mean, same thing with like Michael Jordan or
LeBron.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
that's the scary part.
You could take Dwight Howard off today's 76ers, not at the peak of his career, like right now.
Dwight Howard and Sixers?
Yeah. You can tell how much you pay attention. Anyway, we're not going to talk about the Sixers after last night. But, yeah, you could take broken down old end of his career, Dwight Howard, and put him in the 1960s, and he'd be great.
Yes.
But I have learned the lesson, Noble,
What's
on
that?
this show over the years that I've got like a very, very limited quota of NBA content. I've already exceeded
He
it.
comes in
So
and
we're
tries to
done.
get in there.
So
I'm
we're
like,
done.
All right.
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
Goon's a big Philly fan.
Yeah.
Love wearing the Phillies shirt right now. Loves the Eagles. Loves the Flyers. We do not talk about the 76ers.
No, don't talk about the Sixers.
Nobody's married into one.
Yeah, I did.
He married into it. He married Mary Kate of Easttown. We just finished watching it, by the way. Did you see it?
No, we haven't watched it yet.
It's good.
It's good? I'll have to check it out.
It's a little too much with the going home.
Yeah, right.
The accent's
accent's a
over
little
the top
too
a little
hard.
bit.
It's good. There's some things. I mean, the mother reminds me of my mother. She used the word "shut the Christ up"
Yeah.
every third line of the movie.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's my mom, by the way. That's my mother. Laughing and joking, busting chops. So, but, it was good. I liked it a lot. We enjoyed it. A lot of twists and stuff like that. But
I'll have to watch it.
it's not a good place to live, I don't think.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that's not the way it really is. I mean, there's a lot of home destruction and single family and drug abuse in there. So, it was a really good movie. A really good show. Sorry. What's it on? HBO Max. I think.
Yes.
It's
Yeah.
worth it. 7 episodes. We got through it in 2 or 3 nights.
Yeah.
I like it.
I'll have to check it out.
That's
It did spawn one of the funnier.
Mayor Kate of
Yeah. Mayor.
Delco.
Yeah, Mayor of Delco.
It did spawn one of the funnier SNL sketches.
Oh, God.
Sketches
Murder
of that.
Girder.
But still, not
not
nearly as good
comparable.
as that Last Dance one with
Right, did you see the Jordan one?
Keegan Michael Key.
Keegan Michael Key.
No.
They had outtakes of the 10-year after the 10 broadcast of the Bulls dynasty. And
Yeah.
stuff like that. And he was talking about it. Dude, all I gotta say is go to SNL and look down
I'll
at
watch
the
it.
Michael Jordan outtakes. I can't even explain it because my wife would say, "Don't ruin it already. Don't
Right,
ruin it.
yeah.
Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it."
I'll check it out.
It's hilarious.
Okay, so talking about ruining it, I got a chance to talk about this with Ironhead last week, Goon, but I want to get your take. Brandon and I talked about it on the podcast that dropped this morning from us. I want to hear what you think about the college football playoffs going from 4 to 12.
Yeah, I think it's a great thing, obviously. I mean,
Okay, all right.
we've
Well, let me
been
just
in
say,
it
so
for the last 5 years.
I got you on the record. It is a, quote, great thing
I think
to
so,
go to
yes.
12.
Absolutely.
Okay, why?
Why?
Yeah.
Because
That's a
as
lot of
tired-
playoff teams, man.
I've always wanted the home playoff. The first round should be a home game for somebody. That's
Okay.
like your little reward.
Yeah, all right.
It's an extra $7-10 million into schools, and the local economy.
Sure.
In my opinion, it gives everybody an opportunity. It gives the Power 5 champions, anybody else, Notre Dame, and then the other. Well, what are they? Lesser six? Is that whatever
The group of 5.
group of 5?
Yeah.
The lesser six.
The lesser six.
I like that.
I mean, if you think about it, like Ironhead says, he said it for a couple of years now. He's like, can you imagine going into the season and like knowing that you can go undefeated, that you do not have a shot to go to the national title, like Cincinnati,
Yeah.
UCF a couple of years ago, and that's the truth.
Right. Yeah.
The
Very
truth.
true.
I mean, there's no way they're going to take a undefeated Cincinnati team versus a one-loss Alabama, Clemson, Big Ten, Ohio State type of team, in my opinion.
Which is
Now,
why
I believe it really opens it up. I thoroughly enjoy the 4 buys. The first 4 guys get right. What it would be?
Yeah.
So 4 buys in the 4 games.
the top 4 ranked conference champions.
Just
Get a buy.
I got
Yeah.
you.
So,
But
like,
then the
so
next
for
4 get a
example,
home game. So like Alabama,
Right.
and Ohio State, Clemson, what Notre Dame this year? Was it the fourth one?
Yeah. Yep.
They wouldn't get a home game.
they would not. No. Actually, they would
Well, actually,
because they're
Notre
not a
Dame,
conference champion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They could be in it. But I did read that they actually have buys. So during the year, they have a second buy, so they really shouldn't get a third one.
Well, that's a very
So,
good point.
Oh, a third bye week.
Well, because
Right?
they don't have to play a conference championship
Yes,
game.
they don't have that, so they would have more time off, and it wouldn't be fair. So I can agree with that. But Alabama, just say those top 4 teams, they're not getting a home game. So we would be the 6th ranked team. We would be getting a home game possibly.
Yeah.
That's
a
a
big
really
thing
interesting
for economies.
dynamic for sure. Right. So think about in 2016, Ohio State gets into the playoffs over Penn State.
Yep.
Under the new model, Penn State gets a bye because we're the conference champions.
Right.
We always get screwed. Everything always changes because of what happens to us.
Yeah.
All the time.
It's true.
Valid
After
point.
94,
Yep.
Nope played in the,
Yep.
what was it? It was the BCS. Was that the original?
The
Bowl Alliance.
Bowl Alliance,
Yeah,
right? Wasn't it?
You guys played Texas in the Fiesta
Yeah.
Bowl.
Yep.
the Bowl Alliance or whatever that was created because of the '94 fiasco.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell, man?
And then that begat the BCS.
Yep.
And then the terrible
BCS.
calls in the 2002 Iowa and Michigan games.
Oh.
Like Joe was a big
Instant
part of
replay.
shaming the Big Ten into going to instant replay. Yeah, for sure.
The old man
For sure.
running like a 5'1" 40 at age 88,
He was scooting.
running across the field.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody saw that as a player? We'd all run the other way.
Yeah,
He's coming
God.
after us. The Velociraptor's coming after us right now.
So you don't have any sense that it's too much of a good thing, guys?
Well, I mean, like I said, I definitely think it's too late to go back, right? And I do think my only concern, Goon, and Chris and I have talked about this already, is that I do think you lose a little bit of that really cool and unique thing in college football where every game really, really matters. Do you know what I mean? And but I actually last night it wasn't brought up, and I hadn't thought of it either. It was like now. That that home game is a little bit of a reward, like the things that it does for the university, for the school, for the program, for the town, all those things. I mean, that's a valid point. It definitely is. But I do think that college football becomes just like all the other sports when you add that many people. I'm like a proponent of like six-ish. You know what I mean? Makes it like, all right, that's going to still be really hard to get into. It maybe breaks the stranglehold that Alabama and Clemson has on it,
Who does it benefit? The universities or the NCAA?
I don't know. I haven't thought that far.
Because the NCAA will do anything. As I've been saying for months now, the NCAA will do anything that universities want them to do to keep their golden.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
alive.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if the conferences said, okay, we want playoffs, the NCAA says, okay, yes, that's fine.
Right.
What do you want from us?
Yeah. How can we help you?
Can we get $6 million, $6 billion still?
Yeah.
And that's the bottom line of what's going on.
Oh yeah.
I like it. I do because it's.
Well, I love the
out.
Playoffs.
You're 13th, 14th. It's like, you know what? People are going to complain when you're like the 5th and 6th ranked team, and you have a valid point.
Yep.
But when you're 14 and 15 or 13 or 14, you
right.
missed out.
Not as big a deal. Yeah. Maybe you should have won a couple more games.
Right. That's a very good point.
Yeah.
There is a much less intense debate between 12 and 13 than 4 and 5, or even like 6 and 7.
Or the Cincinnati and UCF aspect of the Boise States of the world, who deserve those opportunities, but they really don't get it because of the power conferences. And another thing he's talking about how that one they had that 1 week where you really screw up, and I call it the Oklahoma week,
right?
Because they're guaranteed to lose to Kansas State, Iowa State, or somebody one time a year,
right?
By like 25 points, and they were a 25-point favorite. You're like, what the hell?
You just had a bad one.
What just happened? But it happens to them every year. So this is the Oklahoma rule to get a little extra nudge there.
Well,
but you can slip up and still have a successful, great season.
What's funny, if you think about going from 4 to 6 or 4 to 8, I think one of the reasons why there was pushback on that is probably from Notre Dame and the SEC, because right now what you have is functionally 4 at-large bids. Like you can get 2 SEC teams in, and we've seen 2 SEC teams get in.
Alabama can lose to Auburn, not go to their conference and still get into the playoffs.
Yep.
Correct.
They can have the bad week.
Right. So if you go to 6 and you say 5 Power 5 champions plus 1, you've reduced the number of at-large bids.
That's true.
So that hurts the SEC.
Yep.
And it hurts the unaffiliated team in Notre Dame. Same thing when you go, honestly, from 4 to 8. So the only way you can preserve all the opportunity in the world to get the Fighting Irish and like 1 or even 2 additional SEC teams beyond their conference champion is to go from 4 to 12. And I think that was a big part of what was driving it.
So I was at home this past weekend for a graduation party. I had twin niece and nephew. The boy went to Ursinus and the girl went to Alabama. So her father, my brother, he said, Alabama football. This and I got you. They're my second favorite. I get it. And then we were laughing and joking. And he was talking about how dominant I said, Craig, look at the paper right now. Look at what I'm showing you right now. So how many times have we talked about this, me and you? Since 1990.
Oh,
how many times
Alabama versus
played
Georgia? Ridiculous.
2 dominant SEC programs.
Right.
Ridiculous.
They have played 10 times on paper, and then 3 other times on titles or matchups and stuff like that. So you're talking about every.
Wow.
And that's like they pass around the Kentuckys, the Vanderbilts,
the
Mississippi States, the South Carolinas in the East and stuff like that. So they'll make them go and play the other conferences, but they're never going to have the huge teams going at it. I mean, I always got to give respect to the Big Ten. You will play that team, every team in the Big Ten, at least twice in your career. There's no questions asked about that. But the SEC, it just drives me crazy how they don't cross over enough for me. Because they want to preserve their undefeated records. And it's just insane.
Well, dating back,
no one gives a crap about it.
Dating back to 1980, Brandon, Alabama has played Penn State in the regular season more than they played Georgia.
No way.
No, I'm not kidding.
That's crazy.
Back to 80.
Yep.
So give me what? They played 83, 4, 5, 6. That's 4 right there.
Right.
And then they played. And
then they had a series in the late 80s, and then they had the 2-game series back in 2010, 2011.
And then the 2, 1 home down here and there.
Yeah.
Holy crap. That's
silly. Or smart.
Well, They preserve themselves is what they do.
Yeah.
I mean, they got to
I said it was smart.
It's smart. You're exactly right. But is it the best football and the way they act and how they do go out and win big games, no doubt about it, against other conferences.
There's no doubt about that.
They're not ducking anybody, but they are because they're not giving themselves that chance to have a screw up against the Georgia every 4th year.
If you got to play Georgia, like you said, 2 out of every 4 years, that is a big difference than playing Vanderbilt and Kentucky.
Alabama, LSU, Alabama, Auburn. Now you're going to add Georgia in there every other year. You're going to slip up.
Yep.
And if you even if they put you, what if some of those games are back to back?
As they should be.
I mean, that's always a little screwy. So
Penn State's had to play Michigan and Ohio State back to back. We were going to have to do that last year before the coronavirus schedule screwed things up.
We'll tell you why. We can't complain about that because when we joined the Big Ten, we had a bye before Ohio State and a bye before Michigan.
Is that right?
93 and 94.
Yeah.
So we really can't complain about that.
Yeah, we did.
It's been 25 years. I think we can start complaining.
And
25 years.
Those were horrible weeks.
Sorry.
Wasn't that 7 years ago, 8 years ago?
It was just the other day, I think. Right? No?
All right. Well, it's a Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show. We're coming to you live from State College's Quaker Steak and Lube. I'm going to let these guys beat me up a little bit. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back with you on the other side. Stay tuned.
The State College Spikes return home Thursday night for a 6:35 p.m. matchup against the Williamsport Crosscutters. It's the return of a fan favorite, Thirsty Thursday. Fans 21 and up can quench their thirst with $2 16-ounce select drafts and $3 16-ounce craft drafts from 5:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's Thirsty Thursday against the Crosscutters at 6:35. For tickets, call 814-272-1711 or buy and download at statecollegespikes.com.
Lion Country Kia is offering exceptional deals on your new Kia during Kia's Command the Season event.
We have a nice selection on the 2021 Kia Sportage with various options and prices as low as $26,800, saving you $3,000. Or if you demand big power and towing capacity, slip into one of the 2021 Kia Sorrentos available on our lot starting at $32,680.
Discover why Kia drivers throughout the area come to Lion Country Kia or visit online at lioncountrykia.com.
Quaker Steak and Lube is throwing open the garage doors and setting up the umbrellas. It's patio season. Come enjoy great food, drinks, and fun in the sun. There's always something happening at Quaker Steak and Lube, but we're really amping up our event calendars for our favorite time of year. Visit thelube.com to find out what's happening at your local lube this season. Lunch, happy hour, dinner, or late night, indoors or outside, at Quaker Steak and Lube, you'll always find big flavors, friendly faces, and lots of fun.
Hi, Johnny Broom here. If you're in the market for a new Hyundai or a pre-owned car, truck, van, or SUV, nobody beats a Blaze Alexander deal. But don't take my word for it.
Hey, Goon says tell him Johnny sent you.
Hey, tell him Johnny sent ya.
Tell him Johnny sent you.
Wait, tell him Juan or tell him Johnny sent you?
Tell him Johnny sent you.
Here at Bill Pickles Tap Room, we say,
tell him Johnny sent you.
And remember, tell him Johnny sent you.
Hey, and we're back here on the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show, coming to you live from State College's Quaker Steak and Lube. Chris Buchignani and Brandon Noble filling in for Jeff the Ironhead Byers with former Penn State offensive lineman Keith the Goon Conlon.
Hey, Ro. How are you? Good to have you back, Bucci.
You know what? I'm always happy to come in off the bench and be the sixth man of the year.
You're not the third man of the year. You're always.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You're the guy.
Yep.
You're the guy, buddy. How was the show last week? What you guys did?
Well, we had some interesting conversations. Like I said, we talked a lot of 12-team playoff. So Ironhead won 16. He won 16 teams. He wants every conference champion plus 5 at large.
He's gluttonous. That's gluttonous.
I just feel like
every conference champion, so all 11 plus 5?
The Sun Belt?
He wants
yes.
like some SWAC teams in there?
Yeah.
Oh, Ironhead.
That's a lot of
So he likes
playoffs.
He likes basically the same idea that you have in the basketball tournament for football. Where if you win your conference tournament, you get a shot.
No.
Don't love.
You're just literally putting a patsy up there. You're sending somebody up to State College, Pennsylvania from wherever.
A whooping.
From the Mountain West Conference to get their.
Although, you get the right App State team in here, and all of a sudden you're feeling bad about yourself.
But they'll all be ranked, though. They will already be. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They might be part of the. Because they were always a non-Power 5.
Yep.
The top non-Power 5
in
is
a
already
12-team scenario, yes. Yeah, because the only conference champions are the Power 5 who get guaranteed bids.
Yep.
Right.
And then it's whoever the top-ranked group of 5 team is. They get a guaranteed bid. So there's 6, then there's 6 at large.
What do they have to be? The top 15?
Notre Dame just
they just have to be an at-large team.
So they could be like 28, and somebody's going to pick them because they're going to bring people.
Yeah, they could do it.
Yeah.
No, that's unfair. So they could pick. They're not going to go with rankings or anything like that.
I'm sure it's got to be tied into the rankings. It'll have, there's going to have to be.
They're going to have like rankings, and they say, okay, this is the 14th ranked team, or are they going to say they pick at large?
What I think they'll probably do.
That's probably what they'll do because it's going to be the most screwed up situation, and that's the route they'll go.
I think what they'll probably do is they'll just say we're going to take those 6 teams that qualify for those criteria out. And then the next 6 highest ranked teams get in, whoever they are.
They're going to have a weekly. Hopefully, they have a weekly pool. What I'm saying is, I don't want a 24th ranked Notre Dame team getting in because they're Notre Dame.
No,
right.
There won't be.
Alabama.
Yeah, I mean, is there going to be a selection committee, right?
No,
or is it going to be just a numbers
all right.
thing?
So under the scenario you're describing, under the scenario you're talking about, Goon, it wouldn't be that they'd be ranked 24th and they'd get in. It'd be that they inflated their ranking to somehow get them into the top 12. Like maybe they're like really they should be around 15 or 16, but somehow magically they come in at 12.
So how the SEC votes on a weekly basis.
Correct. Right. Yes.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know how to maximize their teams getting into titles and exposures. There's no doubt in my mind. Will they do the same thing? Well, Notre Dame, they may just start paling down their schedule then. I mean, they play a pretty good schedule.
They do.
They finally do. Because
they do.
10, 15 years ago, it was really bad.
Yep. Yeah.
Very bad schedules. And they had the typical, we played USC every year.
Right.
That's the other thing. I want to see a Southern team come up north in December.
That would be that's a very good point. I mean, having a team from down south or out west come into the Northeast and have to play in Columbus or State College.
Yeah. Notre Dame, if you ever watch when Notre Dame plays at USC, it's the last game of the season.
Right.
When it's at Notre Dame, it's in September.
Yep.
Always.
Yeah.
I want to see some of these guys come up because we got to go down there and play in their bowl and their weathers and bowl games. We got to go down there and play in what we know is heat, and it's cold for them in January.
Yeah. Like, it's so hot, 75 degrees. Somebody turn it down.
Oh, God, we leave State College at not -19. You go down to Orlando.
Yeah.
Oh, my God, it's a heat wave.
So hot.
It's 79. Oh, my God.
Another 2 a day.
So have you thought about this? If you don't get one of those 4 byes, potentially your season ends in December on your home field, and there's no trip south. There's no nice weather for your fans to take a little mini vacation.
Next question is the bowl system going to go away? Because that is the issue. It's not the issue if they want the playoffs. I get it.
Right.
The bowl system will not give up. There's too many people with tax write-offs and corporations that have these huge tax write-offs for sponsoring these bowl games.
Sure. Right.
So now you're going to have, Indiana go down and play Temple in the Armed Forces Bowl. Is that still going to be a thing? Or is it just going to be just?
I don't think they've made it that far yet.
Just the 12 teams.
No, yeah, those games are going to exist for sure.
Okay, so they're going to exist. So what you're saying is you're exactly right. So we are in the final 12.
Yeah,
we lose a home game,
and then you're done. You can't go to a bowl game.
There's no bowl game for you. Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Why not? Look, these are going to be big ticket teams whose fan bases are a little let down and are maybe, again, looking to take the usual January road trip to someplace nice. Why not set up some games for those consolation prize games?
Wow. Well, you got 4 losers.
Right, and some of those losers are going to be good.
Why don't you have 4 of those losers have the 2 bowl games set up for those 4?
Sure.
To get at it.
Like you'd go see, would you go see after being let down?
Let's losers bracket.
Theoretically speaking,
it would be a losers bracket.
Yeah. Theoretically speaking, you have a December playoff game in Happy Valley. It doesn't go the way you want it to.
I hear you.
Would you then book a trip to, Florida or California or Arizona?
Right, they would set a bowl up for those 4 losers.
Yeah, and see like a Penn State USC game, a losers game.
If the national title game is on a Monday night, why not have the? You're going to have how many teams? You're going to have 10 teams there, so you could have logistically 5 games, right?
Yeah.
So you have the national title game January 9th. So what about the week before? You got, there's a little bowl game. You get 5 bowl games between some pretty damn good teams.
Yeah,
you're a straight losers bracket, but still you're still playing, and
right.
Your fans can still go down south for a little mini vacation, and there's more TV money for it.
Yep.
So get rid of the NCAA. We can figure this out right here,
Agreed.
right now.
Yep. Agreed.
And the best part is there hasn't been alcohol been involved.
No, oh goodness gracious.
Wait till you start drinking.
Then we will really. Then the Galaxy
gracious.
Brain solution comes out.
And the mailman shows up, and he starts talking about zip codes, and
So Alan was asking about the way this is going to be set up. The 4 highest ranked conference champions will get buys in the quarterfinals,
and that sucks for them because they're going to lose. They're going to lose a bit of money.
Because they're not going to get to host a home game.
They're not getting a home game.
Yeah, that's a little weird.
Game's going to be.
Then they will move those to bowl sites, just like they're doing right now. And then there'll be a national championship game. So once you get out of the quarterfinals, it's going to look basically the same as the playoff system. Yeah. There's just going to be 1 or 2 more bowls involved.
Huh.
But they're going to take care of those New Year's 6 bowls. There is no doubt about it.
They have to. They've literally kept them and television have kept the NCAA alive for how long? I mean,
yeah,
college football. Excuse me.
Right. It'll be
same thing.
Yeah, college. It's all the same, right? It'll be. It will be fascinating to watch it all kind of take place, and as we've watched the game, right? Not the game change, right? But the business change and the way that it's marketed, the whole thing spurned through. Where am I trying to go with this? I don't know. I lost my train of thought there. I'm so hungry.
CTE.
Yeah. There we go. Sorry, I was completely distracted by French fries and food. Yeah, that's exactly right.
he wafted over here.
I just feel like it's going to be hard. I've had a tough time with, and not a boo-hoo here, but it's like the way that the bowls have kind of turned into these other things. You know what I mean? And they're not. It's not the Rose Bowl anymore, right? It is right. It is. They're playing it at the Rose Bowl, but it's not. It's not Big Ten, Pac-12, right? It's those are things that I think for those of us that kind of still remember the 70s and 80s and or 90s of college football, and that's when we grew up, and that's when we loved the sport.
That's what you watched every New Year's Day.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. It's gonna change, and it's gonna change even more now when you throw this, and that's not always a bad thing.
Was we see Alabama, USC. Well, not USC, Alabama, Oklahoma.
Right.
At the Rose Bowl. It just always seemed weird. Those teams
Absolutely. It's bizarre.
But, I mean, I think that these guys are well past the fanfare of the game.
And yeah. I don't think today's players care at all.
There's no, they don't.
Scott
Paxson told me something. Scott was on the 2005 Orange Bowl team. And he goes, dude, all I want to do is play in the freaking Rose Bowl.
Yep.
And then we had 3 out of 4 losing seasons. And in my last year, we got 1 loss. We should be going to the Rose Bowl.
Oh, right, yeah.
But then USC plays Texas in the Rose Bowl for the national title game, and they got to play in the Orange Bowl against Florida State. He goes, I just wanted to play in the Rose Bowl.
Right.
Well, and I was like, damn, that really stinks.
Yeah.
When you talk about
kids
today's
aren't there anymore.
No.
Well, right. When you talk about today's players not caring, that was the 2005 season. So the upperclassmen who are on campuses right now were 5 when Texas was playing in the Rose Bowl, right? So like already all the way back to the BCS, occasionally when it was their turn to be the national championship game, the Rose Bowl would stop being what it had been that we all grew up with. And so by now, like you've gone from the BCS into the playoff system, it's been so thoroughly bastardized that it's just another name.
Just look at this. I mean, I know this year was an anomaly. I guess, I'll take 2020 out. But I mean, I'm talking to like AQ and Stefan Wisniewski were playing in the Super Bowl this year. You know, AQ wasn't playing, but he slept in his bed for the whole week.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it was a home game for them, and then Kansas City came in the day before, like it was an away game.
Right.
There wasn't any kind of Super Bowl build-up during the week and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we're gonna get to that. I mean, you're not gonna have bowl weeks anymore for kids.
Oh, it sucks. That was so much fun.
Bowl week was absolutely was a fantastic time. Trust us.
Yeah.
That's the spot in my left right corner of my liver. That's from bowl week right there. So no, but I mean, like,
unless going back to that Orange Bowl team, you were Deion Butler, who was almost lost at sea before that game. God bless him.
Still funny. I still look at him and laugh every time I see him.
Did you ever hear that story?
Oh yeah.
On a jet ski, and they ran out of gas, and he was way out there, rescued. So
that's no fun.
But like we get to the Rose Bowl. God forbid. I mean, I know Joe ran it differently. We had 2 weeks of practice before the game, but like a bowl week normally is you get 6 or 7 days of stuff before. Now, you go to the Rose Bowl, it's like, okay, ho hum, we're not care about the Rose Bowl because we want to play next week in the big game. So it's not really a bowl week for you. It's a business. I mean, they're always business trips to us, but you don't have that like bowl week. You're not going to Disney World, Epcot Center, that type of thing.
Lowry's
playing in these.
Sorry.
Bring it up, man. You got to bring it up.
Sorry, I'm hungry, man.
Worst day of my life. The old man took my dream away. Coach, you can tell the story. I don't think our listeners have heard it, have they?
No, I can't tell your story, man.
We've never talked about it on this show.
You guys haven't talked about the beef bowl?
Yeah, maybe once or twice.
The beef bowl. It was a competition at Lowry's.
It was a historic tradition that went on at the Rose Bowl.
They made a big deal of it. Like it was a big deal when you pulled up. And the worst part about the whole thing is when we'll explain what it was, but like pulling in as a Penn State football player, it's literally like you're about to throw the game because you're not going to be allowed to eat the way that you should eat. Right, so it's just like going to a football game and playing with like one arm tied behind your back.
Because Joe was obsessed with you guys' weight.
Yes, Yeah, so the whole thing was you went to Lowry's, and it was a competition to see who could eat in pounds, right? Who could eat the most prime rib.
If you walked in there,
and they just walked around with that.
There was a spit.
Oh my gosh!
And they walked around, and they just cut 16-ounce pieces off of 16-ounce pieces to 16-ounce pieces, all the sides, cream spinach, corn, mashed potatoes, gravy. So all week I'm just sitting there like, oh, this is what I'm
you were made for that moment. You were made for that moment.
Moon and Mary Moon had me in 1972 with the thought of Lowry's beef.
Yeah, MVP of the beef bowl.
MVP. I had it written. I was a 5-star recruit going in, Booch.
Yep.
Sure.
So we get there, the old man. We get there, and it's beautiful. I tell the guy at the cut, and I say, hey, man, give me 2 pieces. I'm starving. And he goes, hey, I can only give you 1 piece, but you're allowed to come back as many times as you want. So I go back to the table, and I cut into my steak, and I eat a 16-ounce.
Oh, so good, too.
In about 9 minutes, everything's done. I stand up and get another plate. Hey, Conlon, sit down. You're too fat and heavy. No, more. And then he told the guys to take the meat away.
Yep,
all our guys
take the meat away.
We're crying.
Scarred.
And I'm sitting there watching Tony Pittman and Stephen Michael Pitts, and got half their prime rib. They couldn't finish. It was too big of a cut for them.
Yeah.
And they're pulling it away, and I'm crying. I literally have tears in my eyes.
Yeah, the beef bowl.
Oh, Lord. And then I hear stories about my buddies from Illinois. They went out there in 84, and they said they had a guy who's a big old country boy. He said he had 8 cuts of prime rib.
Oh, my gosh.
And I'm like, that could have been me, man.
It could have been.
I could have been a contender, Booch.
And you guys, you got waxed by Oregon.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean,
didn't even have a chance.
Yeah.
We may as well send our cheerleading squad in there. I mean, that's the effort that Penn State was going to give in that.
Yep.
It's disappointing.
It is
We
disappointing.
got a pin out of it, though.
We did.
Lowry's beef. Oh, we got a
jock strap.
So
we got a jock strap.
We got jock straps
too.
in the Rose Bowl, too. That was the oddest gift of all time.
That is the strangest bowl gift I've ever heard of. So,
but it was, the bowl games, like they were still giving watches out till a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
So good.
Tradition,
Listen,
like,
they gave out
60s, 70s, and 80s guys wore jocks.
DVD players, and back when that was a thing, PlayStation. Sure, you would get like an alarm clock, like some nice stuff, like a beach towel or whatever.
Calculator.
All totally normal things to give to a perfect stranger, right?
Yeah.
And then I didn't even believe this until I had it verified by multiple independent sources from that 94 team that you guys got they gave you as a gift.
Uh-huh.
This was a normal thing for a corporation to give to a bunch of 18 to 22-year-old men.
Yep.
You got branded underwear, basically.
Yeah.
Jocks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Said Rose Bowl.
Rose Bowl jock straps.
1995
Rose Bowl.
Well, you don't wear it overwear. It's not overwear.
Well,
I just wore that.
You never know. Yeah.
We just wore spandex.
Yeah.
I'll never understand it. And we got some of the bowl.
It's like a joke. How did they handed you that with a straight face? There you go. There's your jock
It
strap.
hung in my parents' basement for 25
Oh,
years
yeah.
after.
That's amazing.
Until my dad sold his house because it was one of those yes, they gave this.
Yeah, this is a real thing.
This is literally a gift at the Rose Bowl.
Yep.
Amazing.
But I always say this all the time. I don't know if we ever talked about it in the air. Of our 5 bowls that we went to, Brandon will even attest to this, that the Rose Bowl was by far the worst bowl.
Oh, yeah, as far as
to attend.
Game was amazing.
Game was awesome. Game was really
because it's the Rose Bowl.
So how do you mean to attend? Why?
Because everything was so
LA.
Apart. It was LA.
Oh, okay.
We had a mall across the street from us. We'd go to the mall and people were like, who are you? We go, we're Penn State. Like, where are you from?
Yeah.
What are you doing out here? And you'd be like, we're playing in the Rose Bowl. Oh, is that this weekend?
Yeah. It's a weird deal. LA is a weird place.
Yep. I completely agree.
Yeah.
That's why it's chased off 2 NFL franchises and counting.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, no, it was definitely
been, right?
To Los Angeles?
To Pasadena.
No.
You ever been to a game?
No.
Oh, you're parking. It's like Michigan. You're parking on a golf course.
Yeah.
You're literally driving buses and limos through like Park Forest. And then there's this huge stadium. I'm telling you, it's in the neighborhood. And it was so hard to get.
All right.
It was just a weird place. I mean, as players, everything was all good. We're in and out. We're this and that. But,
sure.
Well, as going back as a fan later and later, it was really, really odd to go into it, and you're literally looking around, and you're like, I'm on a golf course right now, parked in a car, and you really couldn't tailgate because you couldn't bring your own stuff out there. So you're out there, you got to go party before, then somehow get there, and you're waiting in traffic all the time. It was
not a fun one.
Crap.
Not to disparage the Rose
favorite
Bowl.
bowl.
Yeah,
I was just going to ask, what was the best one?
Anybody's true freshman bowl game.
Yeah,
he went to the
Booze Buster Bowl
in '92. I was in '91. We were out at the Fiesta Bowl. So
see, I started with the Booze Buster as a freshman, and then ended at the Fiesta Bowl, which I would say those two were definitely. The Fiesta Bowl was a lot of fun. Great game, great environment. It's the Fiesta Bowl, and then also it's just a great place. Lots to do.
Yep, and lots to
see.
A lot of people.
And a lot of people go. There's a lot of excitement around it in town.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I remember going as a coach going down into the Orange Bowl in 05, and that was really cool.
I bet.
Down there for so long and stuff like that. And I didn't have to go to practice, so I could do what I wanted. Wink, wink, haha.
Yeah.
Fantastic time. But I always thought the Tampa and Orlando were fun times.
Yep.
But they're set up for tourists.
Right. LA is not.
LA is not set for tourists at all. Miami's not set up for tourists, but it is a little bit.
So let me go back and ask you guys why your true freshman bowl game. Explain that to people if they don't get it.
Because you're redshirting, so you're not playing.
No care in the world.
Yeah. So you're just on vacation.
You are on vacation.
Getting up and going to practice, get beat up.
Survive practice, and then go have fun. That's it. Like get through practice, and even look. When we first my freshman year, probably like yours too, Keith. We only went for 1 week.
Yeah.
So it was just a game week. So you didn't have the beat down that we caught for the next couple of years when we went out a week early and went back to camp like it was August again. So you went down there, and like for the Blockbuster Bowl was they had a bus that drove us around, and a police officer that would walk us into a bar and be like, hey, these guys are with Penn State. Wink, wink.
So we
were all freshmen.
The whole thing changed. The early 90s, everything changed because back in the day, bowls used to give any player over 21
a rental car.
Get a rental car. And you're giving guys rental cars in whatever city and craziness that goes on there. So
that's hard to wrap my head around.
Yeah, that is wild.
Then they had police forces attached to us.
Yeah, Officer Phil.
Our first 2 years, my 2 years, and Brandon's 1 year, was the 21-year-old guys would jump in their cars and go out and party and this and that. So the cops were sitting there like, what do you guys want to do? We're like, we want to go party too, but we,
So they load you on a Greyhound.
They load you on a bus and pull you up to a club or whatever. And they walk in and the bouncers are like, they can't come in. The cops are like, they're going in.
Yep.
The perks of having no cell phone cameras.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And they gave us a check for $600, so you had $600 in your pocket.
Yeah, and you've never been in that environment before, and it's Miami or Fort Lauderdale.
No Twitter, no Instagram.
No, I remember Officer Phil sat in a booth, and if you got in trouble, you would go sit in timeout with Officer Phil for like 15 minutes, and he'd make you drink water, and then he'd release you back into the crowd.
Coach, I got a better one for you. Back in '85, my brother tells a story that they're playing Oklahoma in the Orange Bowl. They put both teams on a booze cruise.
Oh, geez.
Without coaches.
Man, that's a good time.
With Brian Bosworth.
And it was a huge fight. Imagine that.
Go figure.
I'm not going to lie. A huge fight broke out amongst a bunch of testosterone-filled meatheads on a cruise ship where there's casino gambling and all you can drink.
That's amazing. I'm jealous.
What could go wrong?
Yeah, nothing.
Brilliant.
They bring them out to international waters, so if anybody dies, they can't be sued, I guess, I mean, it's just unbelievable to think about.
Different time.
It's a whole different time.
Yeah, different time.
And this is why it took so long to get a playoff in college football, and it's still screwed up.
Because the bowl people were the bowl people. They were getting a big old cut out of everything.
Yes, sir.
And they don't want to lose that type of, I'm not going to say tax break, but definitely there's some benefits to. I mean,
there's a reason a lot of those guys are in jail now.
How many bowls can you watch at the Belk Bowl in Charlotte, North Carolina, and there's 1,100 people there, and you're like, how the hell do they keep sponsoring this?
TV.
Yep.
There you go.
Media rights, baby.
They don't care that people are selling tickets and this and that,
Yep.
but people are sponsoring. They have major sponsorship and this and that. And, Go from there.
Yeah, and a lot of the schools are locked into buying out blocks of tickets that they can't even sell.
Yeah.
So you accept your bowl bid, you buy a bunch of tickets, your fans don't buy them. Too bad, so sad.
Yep.
You just foot the bill for that bowl to
Get your
exist.
conference bowl money and hope it evens out.
I told Ironhead last week about the Penn State rule with the uniforms. At Penn State, we'd always refuse as players to put any kind of stickers or anything on our helmets. And they called it the Penn State rule, and then you guys had to wear the sticker because they had a rule with the Bowl Alliance system. So you must wear the sticker or it's a $500,000 fine, and it become the Penn State rule.
Yeah.
So now we all wear patches and stuff like that.
Patches. Yeah, I have a Fiesta Bowl patch.
Well, there's like 12 patches on the uniform all the time now anyway. So that ship has sailed.
Yeah,
there's like 9 different patches across the front of the jersey now.
Yeah.
On that note, I think I better let you guys eat. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in to the Lion Country Kia Goon and Ironhead show again. I've been Chris Buchignani, Brandon Noble. We are collectively filling in for Jeff the Ironhead Byers on vacation this week. Goon and I will be back on Thursday, and it'll be the usual start time. I promise, 3 p.m. So until then, what does Jeff say? Be good and be safe or something like that.
What? Never happened for me.
So long.
Beat it.